right, here we go. It's July 2, 7:14. And let's get our trade on. You know, first of all, last night, my son and I, we went down to watch Pulp Fiction 30th anniversary 35 millimeter screening. Quentin Tarantino owns this movie theater called the New Beverly, where he took this old movie theater that was a classic old famous artifact from the 40s, I think, and he revamped it, and he shows a lot of cool movies there. But he just bought another one. It's really cool. It's even nicer than the Beverly. It's like he totally restored it to its old look, its old Egyptian look, like it used to look back in the, I don't know, what was it, the 20s, the 30s, or the 40s. Kind of has that Egyptian theme. It's huge, bunch of leg room. It's super comfortable seats. And we went down there last night and checked out the 30th anniversary of Pulp Fiction. And they're playing Jaws on July 4th. So I'm going to try to hit that too, I think. Take the kids, show them the old Jaws movie, show them how real movies used to be back when I was a kid. All right, let's get our trade on here. So this is Tuesday. Let's go ahead and let's go to our 0 DTE options, July 2. We'll go to at the money. So yesterday we put on our first Little Wing Jimi Hendrix trade, and it was a fabulous success. So let's try that again. Let's do the same thing. I'm going to do 2 contracts today, and then we'll go back to 3. We had scaled up last week to 3, but then there was this weird theta issue that kind of threw a monkey wrench in things. So I'm going to do 2 today, and then if all goes well, then I'll go back up to 3. So that's not what I want. I want a butterfly. So I'll say analyze by trade butterfly. We're going to do call butterfly. And SPX is trading at 54.70. So that'll be the middle strike. And this is 15 points wide. So we'll go 15 above 70, which is 85. And then 15 below 70, which is 55. Is that right? Yeah, there we are. This is our butterfly. So we're going to do 2 contracts of this guy, and then we're going to put our Little Wing on. This is a new variation I'm testing this week. Last week we had the tilt trade, which is all right. It's a cool way to, another tool for our toolbox, trading toolbox. So this one we just add a little a put debit spread and a call debit spread on the outer edges. Let's see. So the put would be the lower strike, so 54.55, and then 54.50, right? Yeah, and then we do it on the call side. Same thing. The call side will be, the long will be 54.85, analyzed by trade, vertical. So it's just a little 5-point wing, and that's a really little wing. So we want to make this the same number of contracts that the butterfly is, so 2. So that's our starting trade. Just gives us a nice, not so steep slope, a wider, flatter slope to work off of, which is nice. And it reduces our total risk to these outside edges to 240. Like, no matter what happens, if it's a big run up or a big crash, worst case scenario from this point up all the way is 250-ish, whatever it is, right? It's bouncing around. And then same thing on the way down. Worst case is the 220. The only thing I have to worry about is the sea of deaths, these Death Valley, the shadow of death. But this line here, the pink line, the 0 DTE line, really stays nice and tight through most of the day. It doesn't really start to droop into these until the end of day. So let's look at our Greeks. We have a 1500 theta. So let's put this sucker on. So I'll go for the butterfly first. Put the butterfly on. Maybe I'll cancel out of that for a second. We're getting a little push up real quick. So let's go back to our risk graph and take a look at this. Maybe we want to adjust this. It's trading at, SPX is trading at 54.73. So maybe we want to adjust everything out by 5 points. Or is that too much? Oh, back to this again. Back to our. This is where my brain locks up. When it's between strikes, I can't decide which one to go with. I guess I'll go back to where I started from. Yeah, that's where we'll go. All right, so let's put this guy on so we can get filled. Come on, you market makers. Okay, I'm asking, trying to get it at 395. It's showing 395. No dice on that, so let's go up to 4. Okay, got in at 4 on that. Look at that big drop. Okay, so there's 4. Now we put our Jimi Hendrix wings on, little wings on. And let's make sure that these are the right strikes. Yeah. Okay, so let's put these calls on first. Create duplicate order. And send. So we got 110 on that one. 110 on the calls. And looks like the puts are going for about the same. So create duplicate order. Oh, maybe 90. Now we're getting a push up. So we got the puts on, the put wing, little wings on for 90. Right there. So let's I'm just going to double check these numbers and make sure I got them right. So we have 90, 110, and 4. 90, 110, and 4. So there's our trade. So we're off and running. So we have a theta of about 1500. We have these little wings out here, and you can see these stay nice and tight throughout most of the day. They really don't start to droop until the last couple hours. So if we can get in and out of this trade like in the first half of the morning, we should be good. And if it takes off, rips up to the upside, or takes off to the downside, like big move, we have less of a loss, kind of like locked in, or we have a guaranteed less risk, if you want to say, than we would have if this was just like a naked or just a standard butterfly. So the standard butterfly, this would have $800 of risk all the way down and all the way up. With these little wings here, they give us instead of 800, there's like 200. So that's pretty significant. It takes a little bit longer to come into a profit, but I think it's well worth it, or at least it's well worth testing it out. So that's what we're testing out this week. All right, so that's it for this one. We're off and running now. I'll come back in like 15 to 30 minutes, or I'll keep an eye on this P&L. Our profit target on this is $50 per butterfly contract, and so since we have 2, our profit target's $100. Unless we're in a position where we think I can milk it further out, which I did yesterday. So we'll just see how it goes. All right, see you in a few. Right, it's July 2, 9:33 a.m. This is our update, our check-in, and we've made one adjustment on this trade. We just added another one of these little wings, a little Jimi Hendrix right there. And currently we're trading right there, just outside the tent, but because of that, thanks to that little wing there, that little Jimi Hendrix there, we're doing okay. We're at like kind of break even. Let's say like between maybe -10 and +$12. So if we come back in here, we get back into profit. If we keep going up here, we can make another adjustment. So we're just sort of taking our time, or ruminating. So that's the update for this one. I'll come back in about, let's say, half an hour or so, 10:30ish. It's 9:30 right now. We'll see where we'll go. Here it is, 10:15, and we have a little adjustment to make on this trade. So for some reason, Thinkorswim is tweaking out here, so I'm not getting a very good reading of this. But you can see that we've moved up here with the SPX, so we're at a profit on the on these little wings. The Jimi Hendrix is cashed in, or are going to cash in. So these are, I'm going to sell those out. It'll give us this trade, and then I'm going to roll that into a broken wing butterfly. Try to figure out what's going on there. So let me get rid of these guys. I haven't seen that in the live market, that kind of a weird tweaky thing before. See it when I back test sometimes, like bad data, but there's something going on there. I don't know what the heck that is. So let's see if I can get filled here at, I'm trying to get 270. So I got 270 on that. So I'm coming down here to lock that in at 270. So that leaves us with a butterfly with $155 risk to the upside. Oh, I'm sorry, not yet. With 475 risk to the upside. But then if we roll this up, like so, we can bring it down to like 150-ish. So I'm going to do that and try to figure out why that risk graph is tweaking out. Okay, so I did that at 350. So let me lock that in. So again, that's a weird tweaky thing, but according to this, we have a risk of 175 total risk, all the way up to infinity, and we're about the current price. Our current P&L is around break even. Well, I don't know. It's hard to tell because this thing is all tweaking out. Let me see if I can figure out why that is doing that. Yeah, this could be kind of weird. I'm not sure what to do. I'm lost now. The next step on this would be to see, maybe roll up. We can roll these up another one. So we'd roll from 85 to, no, we'd roll from 80 to 75. It would give us something similar to that. This is probably the better choice though, because I can't, oh, that's kind of cleared up now a little bit. So I'm going to, oh, you see, there it is. It's flipping on and off. So just kind of, because I'm flying kind of half blind here with that tweaky chart, I'm going to roll up one of these. So I got filling that one at 390. So let me lock that in. 390. So there's our current position. So now we have like $65 worth of risk all the way up to the zero. We've reduced it from like wherever it was, 200 down to 65. And it's 10:15, so we still have some time if we need to roll the other one up or do some sort of other adjustment. This bow will be rising, so I'll just come back. I'll play it by ear, watch this thing, and we'll be back. I'll check back in like in 15-30 minutes, or maybe like 45 minutes at 11, and see what the deal is. So there's our current position. Right now we are up. We're just over break even. I would say like we're probably like $20 up on this. Oh, there's 60. Somewhere between 0 and 50-ish, 30 to 50. All right, so that's it for this one. I'll be back shortly. Okay, I'm back. It's 10:30, and this thing is still kind of tweaking out of me. Sometimes it'll flicker on and off. So I don't know what the deal is, but I think got a pretty good idea of where we're standing. See that? Oh, there's gone. It's on and off. So right now the position is up $35. We have a total risk from here all the way up of just 65. So another adjustment I can do now is to roll up these legs. I'm going to roll these up. I've heard that referred to as harvesting. We're going to harvest these longs, roll them up. So to do that, we are going to, it's these right here. So I'm going to roll those up. They'll bring everything up significantly. And then I'll roll this other one up, which will look like, say analyze trade. So we'll wind up with something like that. And we'll have a positive. We'll be above the zero line here. And which means we're in the clear for the rest of the day. And then, maybe we can play this hump. So I'm going to go ahead and do that. I'm say create duplicate order. I'm going to harvest those two longs. Roll them up. Oh, what? Come on, think or swim. There's nothing wrong with that. So just to confirm, so these are two calls. I have the 5455s. I'm gonna roll up to 5460. It's weird. Why did I reject it the first time? Okay, so 480. Lock that in at 480. There's where we currently are now. And then we can either roll this other one up right now, or I can see, I think it's looking on, I have another chart here. I'm watching on some other screens. I'm watching the 1 minute and the 15 minute. Looks like we might get a little bit of a down move here, which would just get us into more profit, which would be helpful. And then if that happens, we would roll this up after that, and we would have more than what we showed before. Like, we rolled it up right now, we'd either be a break even, or we can have $10 positive by $10. If we get a little roll down though, if we get a little move down in the SPX, which looks like we're getting, I can try to capture some additional profits before I do that roll. So I'm going to give it just a second here. So currently the position has showing a profit of about $30, 30 to 50. I'm going to give it just a minute here. Or I can just kind of determine where I want to get that, where I'd like to get that line. Let's say at least $25. So where would I have to roll this to get $25? That I'd have to do that. So 370. So I'm gonna start at 370. I can't see what that says. 380. I'm gonna start at 370. So that's pretty far away. I'm gonna let that thing work there. I'm gonna take another look at this. Now, there is some little tweaks we can do to boost that profit up if we need to. So this is, if we get it at 410, let's see if I can go to, I think I'm gonna go to break. Let's try to go to break even. Then I can try this other trick to boost a little bit more profit in there, or see. So 395 would give us a break even. Looks like we're moving up now. So I'm going to try to do this. So I'm going to let that work there at 395. And then I'm going to turn that off so I can see what the real price is and what the graph looks like. So if we wanted to boost that up a little bit more, what we could do is we could just come up here. We could sell a, let's see, what that'll be, a put credit spread with a short at 54.70. Just kind of like piggyback right here, a little 5-point put credit spread. Let's see what that would look like. July 2. What strike was that? 54.70. I'm gonna bring this down to temporarily, just kind of get that price way far away from where it's at. Okay, so 54.70. If we sold, I'm starting to step on strikes too, which isn't. It's not very cool. So like that, we could boost in another $35. So if we were to put that at 410, that would give us minus 25.15. And that would boost us just into profit. I don't really like that though, so I'm going to wait for a second before I do that. So basically what I'm doing here is, so we rolled up, as we moved up, we rolled outside the, we moved up, we moved outside and up out of the butterfly structure. So we began to roll this leg up. We had those little wings, the Jimi Hendrix trades on. We cashed those out, and then we rolled the leg up, which eventually got us into a position like this. And then we rolled two of these further down ones up, just to kind of bring everything up, which put us a little bit more underwater up here. And so now we're just trying to see if we can. So the worst case scenarios right now, we have a total loss risk amount of $105 all the way up to infinity, which isn't bad. That's basically my stop loss. So I could just let this thing play out and see what happens. See if I can come in here and see if this bow will give me some profits up to hit my profit target of $100 or more. Or I could do another adjustment, and the other adjustment would be to roll this last one up, which would look like this. That would put us at, which looked like this. That would put us at basically a break even, no profit, no loss risk all the way up from here. And then maybe we can take advantage of the bow effect into the end of day, because that bow will continue to rise up a little bit. But if we continue moving up, that bow is not going to help us out at all. So then the last thing would be to potentially just piggyback a little put credit spread right here on the top of that butterfly to bring in $35 right here for the credit spread. That would put us above zero, so we'd have a guaranteed amount of, like, say, $40 all the way from here all the way up, and put the potential to make continued profits from a bow. But like the worst case scenario, if it continued to move up, would be like $40, which is fine. You know, I mean, it's not 100, but it's not a loss either. So we had a good move up outside the tent, and we were able to navigate it just fine and still come up with $40. So I'm gonna take those off. I'm just gonna watch this for the time being, and I'll be back. I'll come back like in 15 minutes, or unless I make an adjustment. Testing. Okay, here we are. It's noon, and this is our current position. So between the last video and now, what I did was, here's where we were. We had adjusted this trade. We rolled these legs up so that we had a $50 loss, a max $50 risk from here all the way up. And we continued to kind of move up a little bit. So I did another adjustment where I took this leg off. I removed this leg of the butterfly, which is right here. Come on, think or swim. So they gave me that, basically a put credit spread. And then I rolled that side. I entered another one here. So I basically just took this little part of the butterfly that was there and rolled it up to here. And that gave us this position here. So we're just closer to this tent. We moved the tent closer to where the current price was in anticipation or hope of some sort of a down move, like into the close of the day, where we could like try to come to like a break even, or even get into profit, maybe even land in this tent, which would be a total profit in this tent of 420. So currently we're right here. We have a total risk from here up to the moon now of 80. So we increased our risk a little bit, but we brought this tent closer, which will bring this magic bow up closer to the current price, and to see if we can like try to get a little bit of that, get out of break even or a profit. Worst case scenario, we're out at 80, which is below our stop loss, but I'd really like to try to get close as I can to break even or a profit on this. So that's our current position. It's 12:13, so there's about 45 minutes left in the market. We'll see what happens going into the close. So I'll see you then. Okay, so let's do the Excel sheet on this. So let's say, I'm just going to copy and paste this. Come down here. This is July 2. July 2. We had 2 contracts. And today was a loser. Loser. 80. So let's turn that red. Now, even though it was a loser, I don't feel too bad because the way that this trade ended up, I felt like I was totally in control the whole time. So, like some days, like yesterday, you were just trying to chase price around and like stretch that 10 out as far as you can and do all that crazy rigmarole. Those days aren't too. Those days I don't feel in control. Those days I feel like those can be stressful. But today it was different. Today I felt controlled the whole time. I just kind of made an error. I think I could have put that trade in at break even or profit or closer to break even at least. So next time I will. But this one we did lose 80, which is below our stop loss, which it would be 100. $100 would have been our one-time stop loss. 200 would have been our two-time stop loss. Today was 80. Let's come over here. I'm going to put this in the loser column. Loser. Minus 80. Okay. And so there we go. As for today, we have tomorrow we have like a half day of trade. I'm not even sure if I'm going to put a trade on or not. I'll check it out in the morning and see. But half days like that can be kind of weird. So if I don't see you tomorrow, I'll see you after the 4th of July. And hope you have a great one. If you'd like to follow along with me on this trade or any of my other trades I'm doing, I do a bunch of different real life money trades and experimental trades. Just make sure you're subscribed to my YouTube channel below. Hit that subscribe button. Also be sure to join me on my website. I'll leave a link to my website in the description below. Head on over there, sign up for my free email newsletter, and we'll go from there. All right, that's it for this one. See you next time.